Hi, I'm Frank Fantini, CEO of Fantini Research and publisher of Fantini's Gaming Report. Today we are here with Atul Bali, President of Aristocrat Americas. Aristocrat is a major international slot machine company and provider of associated services, based in Australia, publicly traded. And it is the company that historically has been best known for bringing video slot machines to the industry. Low denom machines, the kind of machines that today predominate on the casino floor. For a long time, when Aristocrat was relatively new in North America, it had a very fast ascension because of the introduction of these new kinds of slot machines. In recent years, that has stabilized, and it's been a pretty static market share. Atul, tell us a little bit about where Aristocrat is today and where you think it's going to be over the next 2 or 3 years.
Well, thank you, Frank, and thank you for having me this morning. I think that's a very interesting question, and it's something that we spent a lot of time, obviously, thinking about. And you mentioned earlier that we were sort of the pioneers of these Aussie-style penny games into the market. Really, and we found that we've been dominant in the sort of video core gambler segment. And so part of our strategy, and a very fundamental part of our strategy, has been really to expand the addressable market. So we've spent a lot of time over the last 12 to 18 months looking at how we meaningfully address the rest of the market. And really, I would say there's 4 pillars to where we're investing in terms of game product today. There's obviously continuing to invest in that core. We have a significant market share within that sub-segment in the market, and we obviously are looking to preserve and grow that market share. We've already grown that share actually over the past 12 months, and so that's been good for us. We actually sell very few games in what we're calling the sort of low volatility entertainment segment, so that's the sort of second pillar of our investment. We've brought on 2 major, highly accomplished studios. Dan Marks, who was the founder of, one of the founders of High Five Gaming, has created his own studio. He's working exclusively for us now for the next 7 years. And Dan's, almost like a member of my sales team. I mean, he's just really pounding the pavement and has put together an array of 26 games that we're going to get from him over the course of the next year. 2 are approved already. We're selling them at the show. An incredible amount of attention and demand for those. So we're entering this entertainment segment, which we think is half of the video floor. We think the core gambler set is the other half. And so we're finding that rather than simply add 1 or 2 more games, we're actually going to launch between these studios, Dan's studio and another studio called GC2. We're going to launch about 32 games over the course of the next year, almost as many as we will in the core games area. So our strategy has been to really fundamentally preserve and grow that core game segment, but really attack the entertainment space and effectively double the addressable market. The other 2 areas of investment are obviously areas that we've continued to invest in and have been for some time. One is our recurring revenue gaming operations segment. We've made, again, significant investments, both in licenses as well as talent. We've brought in the likes of Joe Kamenko and a number of his sort of team that he's worked with in the past. Really made a huge difference to both our design and our culture. Obviously, we had some iconic sort of core gambler set developers in our team in recurring revenue, Nicholas Bennett and Ted Harsey, and they've continued to work their magic. And so that's been a very interesting area of investment. We've brought in a number of new licenses. You'll see them on the stand: The Walking Dead, Batman, the Superman the movie. We've got some more games coming through. We brought the Rolling Stones and Flashdance to video. So very exciting time for us in the gaming operations segment. The 4th area, a gentleman by the name of Scott Olive worked for us many years ago, invented Hyperlink. We've brought him back. He's really focused on the jackpot segment. And of course, we've had a lot of success in that area before, but this is really jackpots on steroids. So, a lot of new games coming. Those are first being released in Australia, but we'll get the first of those games actually in the November timeframe in the US market. So that's really been our games strategy, double the addressable market in the for sale space, really take share. We don't want Aristocrat to be seen as being this traditional 12 to 15% of the floor. We really want to go after the market in a bigger way. We obviously have our hybrid stepper product, so in the East we continue to sell that product. Joe's actually working on a number of games and new concepts in that area, so watch that space. But of course the recurring revenue piece has been fundamental to our strategy. As you would have seen, I'm told, a few years ago you'd have seen one license on an Aristocrat stand. Today I think we probably have as many, if not more, licenses than anybody else, and we really have the talent behind those games. We also have iconic proprietary titles, games like Buffalo. We've just launched Buffalo Stampede. That's getting massive traction at the show and in the market. The reports on that are excellent. And obviously Wonder 4, one of our for sale successes, the multi-game product. And I think we've sold more than 2,000 units of those over the last year. We've brought out 2 sequels to that game. Wonder 4 Special Edition that is doing incredibly on floors, and Wonder 4 Stars. So very excited about the depth of product. Our focus is really as a company to take share, to drive our North American gaming operations share and obviously performance in the market. We've grown that part of our business. Our fiscal year is at the end of next year, is the end of next week, so I've got to be careful what I'm saying. But we've significantly grown our presence in the North American gaming operations, and we see that accelerating with the likes of Joe and other people in the business.
Okay, very good. Sounds like a really strong emphasis on slot machine game development. Aristocrat always has had a strong systems business, and today we are also seeing all the companies really having emerging internet and interactive strategies. Can you just touch briefly on those 2 areas?
Sure. So our systems business continues to grow. We have more, we service more properties in the United States than any other company. I think we're at 294 today in terms of, as opposed to probably around 270 18 months ago. So big emphasis on building out that business, growing that. I think obviously with the crests and troughs in the market, our focus has been really driving our product roadmap within the systems business. So both in terms of bonusing as well as in marketing applications, value-added services. We see the digital part of our business as really in 3 areas. One is an extension of our systems business. So so you'll see on our stand, we're building certain mobile applications around bonusing. We have a highly successful internet gaming platform. We're in 7 states already today. It's free to play, and helping our customers both in terms of building digital marketing campaigns that drive patrons to their floor and maybe drive spend on their floor, as well as getting them ready for this sort of pending transformation in the industry. The second part of our strategy is really looking at how we take that platform, our N-Live platform. We acquired a platform from a third party last year. We've significantly improved that. We also acquired a social game publisher, and we've put the best facets of those platforms together. We've also integrated a number of third party features and content into that platform. So we have this broad platform play for anybody who wants to be wager ready in the market. The third leg to that digital stool is for us is really around selling our content. So obviously, we have roughly 25% of the video floor in North America. So when people are playing on the internet in the US market, we fully expect them to want to play Aristocrat titles. We've built out actually a brand new product called N-Cube. It's a very sophisticated RGS. It's available on both on the web through mobile as well as through IPTV eventually. So multi-channel, multi-product, HTML5 ready. Very excited about that product. We've changed a lot of our platform inside the business so that all our games, as they come through onto slot machines, are easily portable onto NCube.
When you say RGS, Remote Gaming System, right?
Remote Game Server, yes.
Okay, game server. Every company, it's a very competitive environment, more competitive than ever. And every company has to distinguish itself. What is Aristocrat's competitive advantage?
No, that's a great question, Frank, and it's something that we, again, have to think about all the time because there are lots of very good fast followers in the market. You know, I think over the years, Aristocrat has been quite prolific at developing IP, IP around whether it's hyperlink or, you know, anti-bet and other things. We've been highly successful in being able to develop new concepts and be extremely innovative. We also have obviously invested in design talent. I talked a lot about that in the first question you asked me. So we have tried and tested game designers who are constantly thinking about being the best in the market. So I think if I looked at maybe the top 6 or 7 game designers in the industry, I could safely say we have probably 4 or 5 of them at Aristocrat. So from that perspective, we feel extremely confident, and that's been a fundamental pillar to how we're driving, you know, our content. I think in the past we've been seen to be, you know, clearly a leader in that sort of math, you know, creativity around our product. But now I think with some of the new talent that we've brought in, some significant, you know, developments in animation and sort of usage of assets and sort of player preferences.
You said earlier, before we went on camera, that you've had a show that has far exceeded your expectations. Tell us, when we go out on the floor, what are the 1 or 2 products that attendees must see before they leave this show today?
It's very hard to narrow it down to 1 or 2. I think, as I said earlier, we've had a phenomenal show. Just the depth of the product, we're extremely proud. I think the last 2 days we've been just inundated with people coming to our stand. Obviously, we have our new Wonder Wheels product. That's the sort of 3-wheel product that you'll see both the Batman and the Superman 1978 movie, you know, 2 iconic sort of brands. So those two games are on that form factor. We have The Walking Dead. I love the Rolling Stones game personally. And of course we've got a bunch of the games that Dan has produced. We've got probably about 12 games on the stand underneath our entertainment series, our E-series rather.
Finally, Atul, what would you like customers or investors to better understand about Aristocrat?
Oh, another interesting question. Look, I think for us, we're a company that we believe could significantly increase our presence in this market. We are obviously the dominant player or a very large player in Asia and Australia. We believe our fair share in the market, given our product and, you know, given our breadth now, far exceeds where we are today. And so I think really we're not here to maintain our presence, regardless of the level of competitiveness in the industry. We honestly believe we build better games, and with humility, we'd like to get our fair share of the market.
Okay, great. Very interesting. Thanks, Atul.
Thank you very much, Mike.